I'm Mark Silverthorn. I hope you enjoyed this video. The purpose of today's video is to compare and contrast two debt relief options, a consumer proposal and debt settlement. Let's begin by describing these two debt relief options. In certain circumstances, it is possible to negotiate a one-time lump sum payment to your creditor or its authorized collection agent at settlement in full. This process is known as debt settlement. Debt settlement is a creature of the marketplace. It is a simple and an incredibly flexible debt relief option. A consumer proposal is a creature of federal law. It is not simple, nor is it a flexible debt relief option. Those interested in making a consumer proposal must do so through a licensed insolvency trustee. Under a consumer proposal, you will repay a portion of what you owe to your creditors in equal monthly installments over a period not to exceed 5 years. I am not going to suggest to you that one of these debt relief options is better than the other. I will say, however, that in any given situation, that one of these debt relief options may be more advantageous than the other. And in certain circumstances, only one of these debt relief options may be available to you. The remainder of this video is divided into 6 parts. There will be a description as to when these two debt relief options are available. This will be followed by a summary of the advantages and the disadvantages of each of these debt relief options. I will begin by canvassing when a consumer proposal is available. You cannot make a consumer proposal unless you are insolvent. You are insolvent if 1, your total debts are greater than your total assets, and 2, you are unable to pay your financial obligations when they become due. If you are not insolvent, then you are not eligible to make a consumer proposal. In contrast, you can do debt settlement regardless of whether or not you are insolvent. Most, but not all, licensed insolvency trustees will decline to do a consumer proposal if your total debts are less than $10,000. In contrast, as for debt settlement, there are no restrictions as to its availability with respect to the dollar amount. A consumer proposal is only available for eliminating unsecured debt. It is not available for eliminating secured debt such as mortgage debt or a car loan. A consumer proposal is not available in circumstances where your creditor has sued you, obtained a judgment against you, and placed a lien on your property. In contrast, you can use debt settlement to eliminate a secured debt. With few exceptions, a consumer proposal is available for eliminating amounts owing to the government. It is not possible to eliminate your student loan debt using a consumer proposal unless you make your consumer proposal at least 7 years after you have ceased attending school. You can eliminate most of your debt owing to the government using a consumer proposal. Now I am going to set out when the debt settlement relief option is available. Debt settlement is not available for eliminating amounts owing to the government. Debt settlement is, however, available for eliminating all types of consumer debt, that is, debt arising from a consumer transaction. And I am including both unsecured consumer debt and secured consumer debt. Unlike a consumer proposal, you can use debt settlement to eliminate a secured consumer debt. Accordingly, you can use debt settlement to eliminate a debt in circumstances where your creditor has sued you, obtained a judgment, and placed a lien on your property. A creditor will not entertain a settlement offer unless you have not made a payment on your account for a minimum of 6 months. At some point in the future, you may be in a position where you have not made a payment on an account for 6 months, and at that point, you would be able to use debt settlement. A creditor is under no legal obligation whatsoever to agree to accept a one-time lump sum settlement for less than 100% of the outstanding balance as settlement in full. If you use debt settlement, then you must do so by using a one-time lump sum settlement. Creditors will not agree to a discounted settlement if you will be making monthly payments. Let's canvass the advantages of debt settlement. One of the advantages of debt settlement is there is the potential to eliminate a significant amount of money. I have eliminated a debt using debt settlement for as little as 15 cents on the dollar. It is possible for you to use debt settlement. You also have the option of hiring a debt coach to assist you, or to hire a debt settlement firm to negotiate settlements on your behalf. Debt settlement is a very flexible strategy. You can pick up the phone and speak with your creditors and see if any of them are prepared to agree to a favorable settlement. If you have more than one debt, you can settle one particular debt, and then at a later time, you can attempt to settle a second debt. This allows you to go bargain hunting for favorable settlements. If you are using debt settlement and at a particular time no attractive settlements are available, you can simply wait a few months and try again. If you are using the debt settlement strategy and your debt situation deteriorates significantly, you still have the option of meeting with a licensed insolvency trustee and canvassing the merits of making a consumer proposal or filing for personal bankruptcy. One of the advantages of debt settlement is that you can adopt a two-track strategy. Number one, you can try and negotiate a favorable settlement. And if you are unable to obtain a favorable settlement, you can wait for the expiry of your province's limitation period on a particular account, in which case you can avoid paying a penny to your creditor. In contrast, if you make a consumer proposal, you forfeit the opportunity to take advantage of the expiry of a limitation period. Now I'm going to review the disadvantages of using the debt settlement debt relief option. One of the consequences of not making a payment on an account for 6 months is that it will have a negative impact on your credit score. Now, having said that, making a consumer proposal is also going to have a negative impact on your credit score. If you do not make payments to your creditor, then you should anticipate receiving collection calls. And you may want to watch one of my YouTube videos titled How to Avoid Collection Calls. And the link to this video is in the description. In contrast, if you make a consumer proposal, then all collection calls will stop. If you do not pay your creditor, then your creditor may sue you. And you may want to watch one of my YouTube videos titled, Will My Creditor Sue Me? And the link for this YouTube video is in the description. In contrast, if you make a consumer proposal, then all lawsuits against you are terminated. I am now going to identify the advantages of a consumer proposal. A person making a consumer proposal is entitled to significant protections. If you make a consumer proposal, then under federal law, all collection calls to you must stop. Furthermore, all lawsuits against you must be terminated in what is referred to as a stay of proceedings. These legal protections that are afforded to those making a consumer proposal are not available to those who are using the debt settlement, debt relief option. With a few exceptions, when making a consumer proposal, an individual has the opportunity to eliminate a significant percentage of their debt. Many individuals making a consumer proposal will only repay somewhere between 30% and 50% of what they owe to their creditors in equal monthly installments over a period of 5 years. A consumer proposal might not be attractive if you have significant student loans that are less than 7 years old. A consumer proposal might not be attractive for those with significant equity in their homes. I am now going to set out the disadvantages of making a consumer proposal. A consumer proposal is a very inflexible debt relief option. It is governed by a significant number of restrictions under the Federal Bankruptcy and Insolvency Act. You cannot make a consumer proposal on your own. You must make your consumer proposal through a licensed insolvency trustee. One of the disadvantages of a consumer proposal is that you must include all of your unsecured debt in your consumer proposal. If you make a consumer proposal, however, you must include that employer loan in your consumer proposal, and your employer will not receive 100% of the monies owing to it. Individuals making a consumer proposal typically have more than one debt. You may have more than one debt, and some of these debts, the limitation period in your province has expired, or it will soon expire. However, if you make a consumer proposal, you have to include all of these debts in your consumer proposal. Accordingly, when you make a consumer proposal, you forfeit the opportunity to take advantage of a limitation period. As noted earlier, a consumer proposal may not be an attractive debt relief option for you if you have a significant amount of student loans in circumstances where you ceased attending school less than 7 years ago. If you make a consumer proposal and you ceased attending school less than 7 years ago, then this debt will not be discharged or forgiven when making your consumer proposal. A consumer proposal is not an attractive option for those with irregular incomes. If you make a consumer proposal, you will be making equal monthly installment payments over a period not to exceed 5 years. Under federal law, if you get behind more than 90 days making your payments under a consumer proposal, then your consumer proposal is automatically terminated. Accordingly, a consumer proposal may not be an attractive option for those with irregular incomes. And this would include seasonal workers, commissioned salespeople, and persons with spotty employment histories. A consumer proposal might not be an attractive option for those with significant equity in their homes. It's beyond the scope of this video, but if you have significant equity in your home, then you may be paying a significant amount to your creditors to eliminate your debt using a consumer proposal. Hi, I'm Mark from Debt Coach Silverthorn, and we'd like to get your feedback in terms of what some of our future YouTube topics should be. Draw from your pain and your own experience and let us know. I mean, for example, how to stop collection calls or the top 10 tactics for protecting your assets and income from your creditors. But please let us know what kind of topics you would like us to cover in some of our upcoming YouTube videos. Thanks.